12 o'clock to 4 o'clock and the 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock big noon kickoff. SMU at Happy Valley versus Penn State. It's an 8.5-point spread favored towards the Nittany Lions, and SMU on the money lines plus 250. Looking at some betting stats here on FanDuel, 60% of the money on Penn State, 50% of the bets are on the spread, and that is a split right down the middle. So,
what are you doing here?
I feel like people are talking a little bit too high on SMU.
Okay.
Happy Valley in a home playoff game.
Okay.
100,000 people. We're talking about, McAfee was talking about this today, that the cheapest ticket for these games this weekend, it's $59 to get in the door to Happy Valley.
Wow. WAD, bro.
Like, that's crazy.
WAD, bro.
But they were trying to create the narrative that it's because not many people want to go to this game and those prices should be raised higher because it's Penn State. Happy Valley, 100,000 people can fit in this inside the stadium.
Bro, we from PA, bro. We can freeze a little bit to cheer for our team, man.
It's going to be cold up there.
We know how to deal with
in the middle of nowhere.
We know how. Just drink a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get a little fireball in there, warm up the body, maybe some Irish whiskey.
My type of, your type of, yeah.
But I think Penn State here, minus 8.5.
Really?
I'm taking it.
Alex.
You're the Penn State fan here.
I love Penn State. Love them. Rooting for them my whole life. First calendar I ever got was a Penn State calendar. First jersey I ever got was Evan Worcester jersey. Shout out Evan Worcester if you know who the fuck that is. I love Penn State, dude. How the fuck can you ever trust James Franklin?
You're right.
In a spot versus I do agree that people might be higher on SMU than we think, but a good team. In a big spot. We know that's a classic James Franklin letdown spot, and I also have some nuggets for this. Penn State is 0-3 against the spread versus teams ranked in the top 25 during the game. Penn State is 3-0 against the spread at home, 6-5 against the spread as a fake, but that 3-4 against the spread at home kind of scares me a little bit. SMU is 3-2 against the spread away and 2-0 against the spread as a dog, and they won their only comparable spread this year was +7 versus Louisville, and they won that outright. Last thing on SMU losses versus formidable opponents. They lost in a game-winning field goal to BYU when BYU was rolling. This is earlier in the season. They lost to a game-winning field goal to Clemson when Clemson was rolling late in the season. So even if you want to say that they might be overhyped, when they play a formidable opponent, they happily play up to the competition and they lose very, very close. I think, first of all, the back doors, if we know the FSU offense, how they want to air raid the ball out, the back door is open than a motherfucker. The way this team wants to air the ball out. But I think this game's going to be close, bro. I think James Franklin finds a way to make this game close. I got Penn State by like 4-6 in a dicey game. This game, the thing that's interesting, right? Because you look at it like, Penn State's defense is very, very good. And, I have people might watch the Oregon game and think like, oh, they'll be able to exploit Penn State's defense the way Oregon did. I think something happens when these Big Ten teams go to Lucas Oil Stadium. Like, you can look at past Big Ten championship scores. They seem to be all high scoring. But I do think if you're SMU, you look at that film and you get so much confidence watching Tess Johnson, watching Dylan Gabriel, watching Trey Ferguson. You know what I'm saying? You get so much fucking confidence. And like I said the week before when I was trying to analyze the game before, where it was like, does this team think the season was dead in the water or over? I think this is a team of destiny. The Pony Express has not been back in so long. You give these guys a second chance going up north in a place that people think none of them want to play in, calling them they don't want to play in the cold, calling out them that they soft, this, that, and the third. I think SMU takes that personal. I think they lose in a very, very close game. And I also think the backdoor, 8.5 for a team that loves to air the ball out and never dies, the backdoor is so open. 8.5 is just way too many points for a team that I love and watch. And I've watched closely in a lot of these situations, and they time again do not cover, bro. There's no way I can trust Penn State in this spot. I'll happily be wrong. Happily. But I locked the bet. It's locked. Tracked on my action. You can go look at it. I locked SMU plus 8.5, and I'm down on that hill. I hope Penn State wins, though, but just the number-wise and the team-wise, I think SMU can get the cover here, bro.
I also like the over 253.5. Penn State's hit the over in 4 of their last 5. They murdered that over against Oregon. Obviously, Oregon did a good job putting up points in that game.
Lucas Oil, too.
Yeah.
I really think there's something about Lucas Oil, bro. That's why this over kind of scares me.
Not weather to factor into that game.
Yeah, that's kind of why it scares me.
But the sun's going to be out. This is noon. Sun's going to be
but
out.
But Penn State should be able to move the ball on SMU, and I think SMU will be able to move the ball as well. Another look, too, if you just kind of want it, like in my aspect, is something I was looking at really closely because I really just want to root for Penn State the full game. I was very close to taking SMU first half.
That's interesting.
If you watch a lot of Penn State games this year, I mean, predominant slow starters. Like, that is the story of their season. I think if there is an angle to take SMU, it probably would be the first half. I'm going to go full game because I think it's a lot of points, but I think the first half's a great look, too. I mean, Penn State's a predominant slow-scoring team, bro. And you get 4.5. I mean, they could easily win the first half by 3. You know what I'm saying? 13-10. A little shaky first half, maybe a pick or something in there. I kind of see it going that way.
I got 53.5 on the over. That is one I forgot that I did lock that one in at 53.5.
I don't hate that.
And with the sun being out, I feel like it would be a little bit different if this was like the Saturday night game, 8 o'clock, dark, it's chilly. I got the over there, and then I didn't lock this yet. That 8.5.
But you're
Penn
thinking
State,
Clemson.
But I'm thinking.
Oh, my fault. Oh, man, my fault.
Thinking Penn State.
Yeah, my fault,
8.5.
listeners. I done fucked up the show for y'all.